Would you just speak the website so someone can write it down that wants it? Here goes, folks. It's in here, but I don't know where it is. And I have to thumb through and look. And I says, hey, I finally found it. If someone asks me again, would you just give it to him? Because he knows where it is. I don't. Okay.
Right, www.m as in Mary, S as in Sammy, state, MS state, as in Mississippi state, .edu/org/C as in Charlie, F as in Frank, F as in Frank.
I can get that the truth.
Okay, shall we begin? All right. Okay. If God created the universe, who created God? The basis for this argument stems from the understanding that this is a cause and effect reality. The argument acknowledges that everything physical we observe is essentially an effect that can be traced back to a cause that is separate and distinct from the effect which it produced. So the atheist asks, if the universe needs a cause, then why doesn't God need a cause? The atheist says that to posit God as the creator of the universe is to stop too soon in the questioning process. We need to push the problem back one step further and ask, who created God? But he then warns us that if we tell him God did not have a cause, then he's going to ask, well, if God doesn't need a cause, why should the universe need a cause? He alleges that it is arbitrary to insist that the universe had to have a cause, but to insist that God did not have to have a cause. Okay? How do we answer that? It's not that hard. Okay. Oh, that's slow. Okay. The argument the atheist uses is not logical, but they try to give the appearance of a logical syllogism, something like the following. Everything that exists was created. That's true. The universe exists, therefore the universe was created. That's true. Everything that exists was created. That's true, just like the other one. God exists. That's true. Therefore, God was created. That's not true. Okay. Some things did not need a cause. God did not need a cause. So why did the universe need a cause? And if the universe did not need a cause, God was not needed. If God was not needed, therefore it's reasonable to assume he doesn't even exist. Okay? I'm going to skip number 1, move right on to number 2. Okay. The reason we know it's reasonable to conclude that the universe had a cause is because we know the universe had a beginning. We know it had a beginning because of the laws of thermodynamics, the most fundamental laws of science. The first law says the total amount of mass energy in the universe is constant. The second law says the amount of energy in the universe available for work is running down, or entropy is increasing to a maximum. We combine these two laws to arrive at the following chain of thought and conclusion. If the total amount of mass energy is constant and limited, and the amount of available energy is decreasing with each minute of activity in the universe, then the universe cannot have existed forever. Otherwise, it would already have exhausted all available energy and reached what is known as heat death long ago. Since the universe has a lot of available energy left, it cannot be eternal. Since it is not eternal, it cannot have always existed. If it has not always existed, there had to be a time when it began to exist. That time is its beginning. Once you know the universe had a beginning, it's an easy, simple step to realizing that the universe had to be created or to have had a cause. The argument goes like this. Everything, I like the guy that walked in with a shirt in the beginning, right on. Is he still here? He didn't. Okay, good. Glad you didn't sneak out. Let him go, but get his shirt. everything which has a beginning has a cause. The universe has a beginning, therefore the universe has a cause. This is a scientific conclusion. The emphasis here is on the words, which has a beginning. From what we understand about the universe from science, and just as the atheist admits at the very beginning of his argument, the universe is a physical system that requires a cause because it had a beginning. Since all observation indicates that physical things do not make or begin themselves, then the physical universe must have been ultimately made by something non-physical. It must have been created. The reason we know the atheist insistent that God must have a cause is unreasonable is because God is not physical. The atheist is committing the fallacy of equivocation again. In one of my earlier talks, I made the statement that all the arguments I found so far the atheists use, every one of them is illogical. And if you've noticed, they are illogical on several places in the argument itself. I mean, it only takes one point to be illogical and it ruins the whole thing, but they are illogical repeatedly. Here, there's two fallacies, the fallacy of equivocation and the straw man fallacy, and the red herring fallacy. Three in just as one part of this one argument. That's the way it is. It's incredible. These atheists are the ones that they think they're so rational. Oh, I'm just trying to be logical. No, they're the illogical bunch, and they look down on us so much. And the media just really has a good time lifting them up above us. But it's pathetic how illogical they are. Okay, the fallacy of equivocation. Like atheists did in the if God created all things and God created evil argument, this argument also commits the fallacy of equivocation with the very same word, thing, but this time in the compound word, everything. Yes, God is a thing, but what kind of thing is he?